MVP. Front. First of all, congratulations on a
Thank you, thank
successful
you.
UFC debut. I guess the octagon jitters were they real when you made that walk in there?
It's weird because you know what, from start to finish, I felt confident, and then when I got in there, it wasn't like I wasn't confident. I was still feeling confident, but my body just wasn't functioning in the way I wanted it to. I don't know what it was down to, but it's the first one. I did what I needed to do to win. I felt miles better than him, and I just felt like I could have done a lot more, and definitely have got the finish if I was in order. But we got the dub.
Did that feeling last the whole fight, or like after the first round, you just shake off?
Yeah, I'd say I just towards the end of no, after the first round. So after the first round, I was like, body's feeling a little bit, and it's not even like anything actually happened drastic in terms of bite to me. But like I said, you know, I like to be very hard on myself, winning or losing. So I think that's just me, just really, wanting to be better, wanting to do more, wanting to give more to the fans that come to pay their money to come and see me.
In terms of the actual fight, could you get a sense of him getting frustrated in there? Because
Oh,
it looked like he was just shaking his head and stuff.
yeah, no, definitely. I could definitely see he was frustrated, and I always say the same thing when from the outside looking in, it's easy to go, oh, I'll just do this, I'll just kick his leg and just do this, and then when you're actually in there, um, the reality check is real. I am a lot faster than it may seem. I know people can say, oh yeah, you can see that he's fast, but when I actually hit you with something, it's really fast when you're trying to land shots and nothing's landing. It's frustrating. He's used to being in a fight, and that's what he feeds off. And I'm used to not being in a fight. I'm just used to beating people up. So it would just work better for me.
Well, to go off of that, in between round 1 and 2, Kevin actually said, "Yeah, he's faster than we thought."
This is what you got to love about him. He's again in his own way, he's extremely entertaining. Like we spoke in, I think it was like I don't know the third round. Yeah, we was in a clinch, and he's like, "Man, you slippery as hell." I was like, "You was in the first round." He's like, "I must just be that black man cocoa butter." I literally just couldn't do nothing but laugh in that moment. Yeah, it was great. It was great to share the cage with him.
Well, I know you were hunting for that finish, but could this have gone better for you? Like there were a lot of those like highlight signature moments. He got you down. You escaped submissions. You got up. You played with him. Could this have gone any better outside of getting the finish?
Yeah, no, I think it just no, yeah, getting a finish, but I just know I could have done more. Like even him putting me in those somewhat dangerous positions just shouldn't have happened. I just made a few silly errors, but I felt confident. Recovering, getting back to my feet. Escaping the cage multiple times when he's trying to press me on the cage, and he's very good at his elbows. But we worked on that, so we knew exactly which way to exit to kind of stop him from doing those things. So yeah, still a good day in the office. By way of the situation that I was able to kind of navigate through, but I always want to do more.
In your post-fight interview, you said you felt you still had a lot of work to do in there. Is that just your own self-criticism, or do you have like specific things you need to work on?
Yeah, it's definitely me. Definitely me. I want to be better. I want to do better. And don't get me wrong. Let's say second round, third round, I got the finish. I would have said the same thing. I would have said exactly the same thing because there's just moments in there that I just know what I can do, and I wasn't able to execute.
Talk to me about that entrance. We saw with Israel, you came out with the cape and everything. So what went into that thought?
To be fair, we had quite a bit more. It would have been even more entertaining. UFC was like, calm down, it's your first one. So yeah, we had to strip it back a little bit. But I just like to make it a show, and it helps me. It helps me just relax when I'm just putting on a show. It just helps the time fly by and have me just have the best time ever. When I'm in that mode, I feel like I'm the most dangerous.
And last one for me, when would you like to get back into the octagon? And I know the UFC hasn't been to the UK yet this year. Is it a no-brainer that you're going to be on that card?
No, it's hard to say. I think what's that? It's June, isn't it? July. It depends. It depends. We go back. I don't like to make those kind of decisions. My coach, my manager, they'll sit down. We'll go through what I know I need to work on. My coach wants me to work on, and we'll navigate and say, look, is that the right time to get back in? Yes, no. We'll go from there. But if I could fight next week, I'll fight. Do I have any cuts on me? Yeah, exactly. That's
My God. What were you and Kevin talking about after the fight? Obviously, he was frustrated, but it looked like you had like quite a long exchange in there.
I'm a bit of a wind-up. And seeing that he was frustrated straight afterwards, I was like, oh, you could have done a lot more in there, couldn't you? He's like, what did you say? I was like, you could have done a lot more. And he's like, yeah, I hate fighting guys like you. You move too much. But yeah, no, it's, it's a little bit of banter, so just between us, but it's all good.
Is there a part of you that feels like it took you, your journey was a long one to get to the UFC? Is there a part of you now that feels like, oh, I gotta like rush this now. I've got to make the most of it, try and get as far as I can, as fast as I can? Or do you think, no, I'll take it at my own pace. The opportunities will come when they come.
No, 100%. I'll take it at my own pace, but the reason I put myself in the deep end first is because so I'm not starting from far behind and having to make too many jumps forward to get there. Because then now I don't feel in a rush. I fought an amazing athlete in Kevin Holland. Very high. Towards the top of the table of the UFC. So I don't need to rush. I'm already there.
MVP right here. Before this, you mentioned one of the things is that you liked the canvas in the UFC. And then we saw a couple of maybe slips tonight. Were there issues with the footing at all? Was that just nervous energy or?
I don't know. The one in the Apex felt a little bit more grippy, but to be fair, yeah, no, it was fine. Those mistakes were literally mistakes my own. Then those are the kind of things I'm gonna like grill myself about afterwards when I look back on the fight. But yeah, they were my mistakes.
And then Kevin made a big deal about the level of competition. Did you feel motivated at all to kind of go out and make a statement tonight because of that?
I don't need anybody else's judgments, opinions, criticisms to have that pressure on myself. I don't like to do it from outwards in. I like to, I put those goals, I put those pressures, I put those, those wants, those needs to be better, and on myself, and then I go from there.
Last one for me. I mean, I think a lot of people would like to see you against Wonderboy at some point, but are there names that you have in mind for next up?
Now, like I said, I'm just chasing the top of the hill. Whoever's there, when it's time for me to perform, that's the person I go for. For me, I leave that to my coaches. We have enough stress in the gym.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Michael, just one. I think going into the third round, it looked like Kevin was trying to do a handshake, and you did a quick 1-2. I don't know if that was just you didn't didn't see it as a handshake, or is that just a moment of, hey, keep your guard up the whole time?
No. I had no lessons to teach him. It was I genuinely thought he had just put his hands up, and he kind of obviously he stepped within the range that I would use to just fire. I landed a shot, and he kind of like, you gonna do that? And I looked at him like, what's he talking about? And he's like showing me that he went to put his hand out. I was like, I'm so sorry. Just jump back up. It suits me better on my feet anyway. So
it did look like you went back to give him a handshake after that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. That's not me at all. I don't need to take shortcuts to beat my opponent or any dirty tricks. So I genuinely, it was a mistake. Allowed him the space to get back up, and we went from there.
And I think we all wanted to think we were going to get the podcast that you guys were talking about. Are you surprised that there wasn't as much talk as we thought would maybe be going in there?
Not at all. In all honesty, I feel like he was very nervous, and I felt that in our at the weigh-ins. When we were facing off, there's a couple of things that he did, couple of this, things I like to analyze people. There's a couple of things that he did that I was like, no, this man's nervous. And which is why, especially when you're getting hit and you're trying so hard to figure out the jigsaw puzzle of MVP in front of you, it's hard to want to talk at the same time. So the only times we had a little bit of conversation when we was clinched, and that's because I'm not moving.
I was going to say, it definitely seemed like the movement was very frustrating for him, because then when he would try to catch up to you, you throw these big shots and you just ducked under. Was that a big part of the game plan? Did you know that you would frustrate him with the movement?
To be fair, I frustrate many people. My brothers, my sisters, my mum, everybody. No, but genuinely, that's just my style. It's a very difficult style to not be frustrated, and that's also a positive in the style that I have. That frustration causes many mistakes, and I try to capitalize from that.
Congrats on the victory.
Thank you so much, guys.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
I'm curious what the experience was like having the former President Donald Trump sitting front row as you were fighting.
There's so many people, like amazing celebrities, and obviously presidents and so on and so forth. UFC always drags some of the best out. I know he's, even last year when I was here in Miami, he was here, and I know he likes to come to the shows. It's great, for me, again, it's just cool to demonstrate my skills to, as many people and big names as possible, so I'm out there even more. I gave a couple winks to a couple people on outside. Trump is definitely one of them. But yeah, no, it's just cool. It's just another face. Again, I try not to make too much of a big deal about anything, because then it means I put pressure on myself from the outside in, like I said before. So yeah, it's just cool.
Thank you. Congrats.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, one cool.
Cool.